वो प्रशांत कौन है ना?
प्रशांत कौन से होता है?
प्रशांत कौन में
कौन सा लेसन क्लास है?
हाउ मच लेसन
प्रशांत
टेस्ट करना है।
पहले ही नाम करो। कैसे ना?
90 मुझे बस एक प्रश्न है बस ये इतना बड़े मुश्किल है
मुझे
क्यों हो रहा है वैसे लोग होता है
अच्छे से ये हम बना सकते हैं क्या मुश्किल
संख्या का रिलेशन सुनते से फोटो भेजते हैं आधे घंटे में फोटो भेजते हैं खाली क्या
तो बेटा
ये था जो फोटो तेरे को भेजता है वो फोटो भी करते हैं सबको एक ही फोटो अलग से कोई फोटो है तो आर्टिस्ट पूछा था आपको बोलते उसका फोटो चित्र फोटो पूरा उसका फोटो जरा फोटो डाला उसको और चित्र फोटो डाला तो वो पुस्तक से छुट्टी आ गई
हाँ
वो आ रहा है ना
नहीं
देख
मैं आपको बहुत जोर से
मेहरान का करे आलिया तुझे बता रही है
तुमने मेहरान को कॉल करके
सारे मिसाल है तो 5 मिनट का उस ब्रेक होता है वो आ रहा है चेंजेस के लिए बस और कुछ भी नहीं ये मैंने इसमें कॉन्सेप्ट में बात की है कुछ बोला है फास्ट है वो चेक वाया से क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे टाइम पास करता है इससे बहुत आता है डॉक्यूमेंट आता है उसे उसको बोलने का कुछ अवॉइड नहीं होता तो मैंने चेक highest of the और फिर चढ़ा जाएगा ना चढ़ा बेलून नहीं है ना तो देखो ऑटोमेटिक से बहुत सारे नाम लिखो मुझे वहां से मास्टर वाला खरीदा था 50 50 और मास्टर वो जो है ना हमारा इतना बड़ा पैकेट है महीने में एक बार Yeah, but here for the teaching it. Software. Gas part. इसमें वो बोल को उसका मास्टर बोल ऐसे दिखा दो कभी तो कल आज या तो कुछ काम हो गया Continue with Arya. Enjoy. एक बार तुमने गलत किया मेरे नाम को तुमने खाना कम मारा उसको गंदा लगा है
फिर क्या
वाटी की तरह उसका तो बहुत मुश्किल ये हो गया
वो तो नमन ने मारा था
नहीं नमन ने पीठ पे मारा था
नमन ने
पहले वाला पीठ पे तो मारा
पीठ पे नहीं
सब लोग स्क्रैच और
स्क्रैच से दब गया पूरा लाल हो गया था
एक तो मैं राइट लेग से भी नहीं मारता लेफ्ट लेग से ऐसे ही किया ऐसे ही किया
देखा था मैंने दो मारा दो मारे
नमन ने दो मारे इसने एक ही मारा वो जोड़ का
भी दो मारे
एक ही था क्योंकि कार्तिक मेरे साथ
और
कार्तिक और मैं एक साथ था
ए
ओम के वालों ने ओम ने को बोला तुमने गलत किया
जब सूर्यवंशी को उठाने थे तूने मारा था मेरा
वो मेहरा ने उठाई है ना सब तो इसने
सूर्यवंशी को मारे थे मैंने तो तूने मारा था
हां सूर्यवंशी ने ए चले सूर्यवंशी को नहीं मारा तूने नहीं मारा सूर्यवंशी को हैरान पकड़ा है फिर उसको लात मारने से छूट गया नहीं हां कुछ भी क्या बोल रहा रहेगा तो कनेक्शन नहीं जो उसको वीडियो दिखा
दिखा दिया
वैसे सब लोग बोल रहे हैं नहीं दिखा है ये सामने दिखा है
क्या बोले
कुछ बोलने के लिए मेल में चालू करना ही सब
मैं नहीं करना बोल रही हूं मैं तो नहीं कर सकता मैं मार दूंगा ना तब
ये बर्थडे को सारे बर्थडे को बर्थडे
बॉम्ब गाली पर दे रहे सबको बर्थडे बॉम्ब देगा
ऐसे उठा के लास्ट मार का बर्थडे बॉम्ब तब से होने लगा
हां बर्थडे बॉम्ब दे
ऐसे उठा के हां बर्थडे को पीट में मारते हैं
इधर का बर्थडे
ये सारी
गुड इवनिंग क्या हुआ so who is absent today this is absent today chalo take out your notebook we'll do some questions today first and then we move on with the rest of the chapter volume 2 Arya go and get volume 2 ask bhaiya to give volume 2 भाग के जाओ तो आराम से मत जाओ take out your books I'll give you certain questions वो questions पहले करो volume 2 है ना turn to page number Turn to page number 161. Is that the way to sit in the ground? Where? Left there. तो पैर को घर पे नहीं बताना स्ट्रेच कर रहा है हाँ पैर को अगर इतना आराम देना है तो घर पे मम्मी के पास रख के आते हैं पेंसिल दे दो Check the questions, page 161, all of you. Page 161, check for yourself. Page 161, take out, and yeah, 161. And then, let's complete with some questions there. Very short answer type, can you see that? 1 mark questions. Take the questions. Now, match the column and all this you will do later once the chapter is over. It's the mixed questions. Right? Very short answer questions. Take number 1. Take number 1. Number 1. Then number 20. Number 20. Number 20. Number 20. Then come to the next page. Question number 41. Question 41.
We have to mark.
Yes, you mark. I'm mentioning those question numbers. Mark those, then you will start writing. And or is it or it's the same thing only. Question is same only. Next is number 2 from the worksheet questions. Dekha?
No, I think.
That's one and this is same. Okay, fine. So you need not repeat.
So we have to do it in the textbook itself.
पहले ये करो. Question number 1. No, you will write it down in the notebook. Question number 1. Number 20. and number 41. Then I'll give you some extra questions also. Take out your notebook. I'll give you those extra questions first, and then along with that, there's not too many questions from this part is given here. So first you take down the important questions from the part of the chapter that we have finished already. I already gave you some questions from the first part. Let us take some questions from the part that we have finished last lecture. The first question, Nico. First question. Give two examples of kharif crops. Give two examples of kharif crops. Give two examples of kharif crops. You may leave two lines, 2 to 3 lines. Now for this, one line is enough. We just have to write examples. Question number 2. Why are plants, question number 2, why are plants like pea, P-E-A, why are plants like pea, gram, and pea, gram, G-R-A-M, gram, and mustard, why are plants like pea, gram, and mustard cannot be grown in the months of July and August?
Why are plants like pea, gram, mustard cannot be grown?
In the months of July and August. Cannot be grown in the months of July and August. Keep a gap of 2 lines, that should be enough. Number 3. Number 3. What is the duration of? What is the duration of sunlight required for growth? What is the duration of sunlight required for growth in plants like spinach and poppy? What is the duration of sunlight required for growth in plants like spinach and poppy? Leave 2 lines for the answer. Number 3.
Second,
Spinach and poppy. P-O-P-P-Y. Poppy, you know. Poppy seeds, you know. Who knows poppy seeds? Poppy seeds किसको बोलते हैं? Poppy seeds नहीं पता. Spinach पता है? Spinach कैसे होता है? किसमें खाते हैं हम लोग? कैसे खाते हैं हम spinach?
कैसे खाते हैं?
Kiss. It's in the form of green leaves, no? It's in the form of green leaves. And poppy seeds you don't eat. खसखस पता है?
खसखस सुना है बट मालूम नहीं क्या.
वो इसमें यूज होता है ना.
In sweets.
Yes.
Variety of sweets. We make variety of dishes also with खसखस. Variety of different food items maybe खसखस use होता है. Just as seeds या तो paste करके. Small seeds they are white suji type, small white color seeds. It's not suji. Suji is not a seed; it's a synthetic thing, no? But khaskhas is actually a seed, and it is the smallest seed, very small, one of the smallest seed. Khaskhas, छोटे होते हैं. Now that during the festive time you will come across बहुत सारे sweets में वो outer एक coating रहता है छोटे seeds. Poppy seeds. What I said, question number that is 4. Number 4. Keep 2 lines for answer. Number 4. Mention the need for increasing. Mention the need for increasing the productivity of crops. Mention the need for increasing productivity of crops. Come to the next question. This also hardly 2 sentences you have to write. Number 2. Number 2, write any three qualities. Write any three qualities that are write any three qualities that are desirable in an improved variety. Any three qualities ये क्या है? ये टी-शर्ट तुम पहने तो एक एक्सेल साइज का टी-शर्ट पहन के आते हो, क्यों ऐसा?
बिकॉज़ ओवरसाइज।
हाँ तो क्यों ओवरसाइज खरीदते क्यों हो?
नहीं वो फिट खरीदते नहीं है।
ये बराबर है ना? ये बस यहाँ ऑफ शोल्डर होता है थोड़ा।
ऑफ शोल्डर तो बॉयज नहीं पहनते, गर्ल्स पहनते हैं।
अभी बदल गया।
ऑफ शोल्डर अरे जैसे एक मिनट ऑफ शोल्डर वैसे नहीं, स्टिचिंग नीचे हो जाती है, थोड़ी नीचे।
तो तुम ये कौन सा साइज है तुम्हारा?
ये मेरे से एक साइज कम है।
साइज क्या है?
ओवर साइज बोलते हैं इसको। ओवर साइज
मेरा साइज मीडियम है, ये स्मॉल है।
जरा टी-शर्ट को ओवर साइज बोलते हैं।
तुमको मैंने पूछा।
It is called oversized fit. वो अलग सेक्शन आता है उसको।
वो अपने आप में ही बड़ी होती है, हमको नहीं खरीदनी पड़ती है। एक साइज
ओवरसाइज खरीदते क्यों हो? तुम बहुत 20 केजी के, तुम इतना बड़ा सा कपड़ा खरीदते क्यों हो?
150 से।
अभी वैसा ही चल रहा है, सब लोग ओवरसाइज।
मेरे को लंबे लोग को ज्यादा अच्छा लगता है।
And you're putting your head also inside, you're putting your hand. What is going on? Now, next is, what is it? What I said?
That are desirable.
Desirable. That are desirable in an improved variety of plants. Improved variety of plants. Desirable in improved variety of plants.
Desirable question. Desirable
In improved variety of plants. Now, this is very important. These two questions. एक तो मैंने hybridization जो दिया ही है लिखने के लिए. Now, next you write what is meant by genetically modified crops. What is meant by genetically modified crops? Give two examples. What is meant by genetically modified crops? Give two examples. Write down the answer on this because I will give you. Last one. After
what is meant by genetically
modified crops, give two examples. At least 2-3 examples you should know. Give two examples. Now, इसका आंसर फटाफट लिखो. I'll give you this answer.
आपने इसका बोला।
I told you yesterday. Larvae.
Genetically modified crops, improving the crop variety by changing the DNA of the.
Liखो. I'll give you a proper answer. This you get in your paper for 2-3 marks also. Write a proper answer. What is meant by genetically modified crops? फटाफट लिखो. फटाफट लिखो. In order to improve any variety of crops, in order to improve any variety of crop, comma, in order to improve any variety of crop, comma, changes can be done. Changes can be done in the DNA. Changes can be done in the DNA of the embryonic cells. DNA of the embryonic cells. DNA of embryonic cells. Embryonic cells. I'm sorry, changes can be done in the embryonic cells by changing a gene. By changing a gene. By changing a gene
Gene.
Gene. Gene is what? A small segment of the DNA. By changing a gene, full stop. Such crops formed are known as genetically modified crops. Crops formed by this method are known as genetically modified crops. Genetically modified crops. Example, any 2-3 examples you should know. Example, you write rice, genetically modified, cotton, rice, tomatoes are also there, rice, cotton, wheat, tomato, all these. Now you start answering the rest of the questions. इसमें doubts है पूछो, and this you will do plus the 3 questions I gave you from the volume. फटाफट करो. Another one section of the chapter I want to complete. 15 minutes I am giving you. 15 minutes में फटाफट complete करो. Doubts है पूछो. No looking here and there. बात नहीं समझ में आया मैंने क्या बोला? आया ना? तो करो. हाथ सूजा है. कभी तुम्हारे हाथ में प्रॉब्लम है, कभी पैर में प्रॉब्लम है.
सही में
घर से किसी को लेके आया करो जो तुम्हारे लिए लिख के भी दे, समझ के भी दे, सुन के भी दे. हाँ?
ऑपरेशन
You're not able to write in school. तो लिखो ना धीरे-धीरे.
सोचते बोल जाता है तो थोड़ा पेन.
एक्सरसाइज बोला है ना डॉक्टर ने, तो करो.
ये तो फिर ऐसे ही रहेगा. ऐसे ही गिरेगा नहीं.
चलो चलो तुम्हारा तो कुछ अभी प्रॉब्लम नहीं है ना हाथ में. तो तुम सही तो बैठो. स्कूल में ऐसे ही बैठते हो. चलो चलो फास्ट वेस्ट टाइम दिस वे. कंप्लीट करो. दिस 15 मिनट्स. ये क्या 2 घंटे का काम है. फटाफट स्टूडेंट्स would finish this. If had this been another batch, I would have already finished another half of the chapter by now. 2 साल से तुम लोग ने रीड के ऐसा हाल हो गया ना, जूस और सैंडविच खा के क्लास किया, क्या पढ़ना है क्या बताया. करो करो फास्ट. फटाफट look at the answers. डाउट है पूछो. कंप्लीट करो. Answers, not to write unnecessarily long answers. Whatever the question is. Okay, very good. Whatever. This work that I gave you should not take more than 10 minutes.
इसका example also example.
खाली example ही लिखना है. What the question is. Don't write anything extra. क्या question है? Exactly what is asked. Only that much you will write. Unnecessarily explanation बिल्कुल भी जरूरत नहीं है. You're wasting your time.
Can I present segmentation via plants like gram and during month of July because they are rabi crops?
Because they are rabi crops and their favorable season for growth is the dry and winter months. Because their favorable season for growth is dry and winter months. Every plant has a favorable season for growth. Neeraj, are you writing or searching and searching and searching?
No, writing question of textbook.
हाँ?
Writing question of textbook.
Writing question of textbook बाद में, पहले ये answers लिखो. Fast. One by one, go through the question. Try looking for the answer. नहीं समझ में आ रहा है पूछो. फटाफट करना है. Don't just remain with those 5-6 questions. Next is
If we agree to limited books,
huh?
if we agree to limited books,
Their favorable season for growth is the dry and winter. Their favorable season for growth is the dry and winter season. So winter season and the dry season. That's the dry and winter season is their favorable season for growth. They cannot grow during these months when there is so much of moisture and the soil is wet.
poppy and spinach, poppy and spinach and long leaf plants.
They require long duration of sunlight. I asked you what is the duration of sunlight they require. Answer is they require long duration of sunlight as they are long day plants. They require long duration of sunlight. Are you writing? Yes. In short, also if possible, you write. That is called poppy and spinach. That they require long duration. They require long duration of sunlight as they are long day plants. They require long duration of sunlight as they are long day plants. As they are long day plants.
Fourth का H5 भी होगा ना? I
What is the question?
mentioned the needs for increasing productivity of crops.
What is the most important need you feel? What is the need for increasing the productivity of the crops? What is the most important need? Increasing to satisfy the population demand. To satisfy, because of the increasing population, if the food resources are not increased, and half of the population won't get adequate amount of food. So that concept only you have to write in one sentence where you are writing to satisfy human needs, to satisfy the population demand. While today there is so much of advanced method to increase production of food in the form of milk and oil seeds and grains and etc. Even fruits and crops. Why? Because population is increasing at an alarming rate. Population is increasing and to satisfy human needs. That sentence you read. As population is increasing and to satisfy human needs, production of food has to increase. Production of food has to increase.
Fifth question का आंसर नहीं है.
उससे एक साथ अच्छा था तूने कोड पर पे एक साथ लिखा है इतना भाई
और
एक साथ लिखा मुझे पता है क्वेश्चन को कोड का क्वेश्चन पर
mention the need for increasing the productivity of crop that is three qualities. ये अलग है. इसका होने में देखिए
अलग-अलग बोला है
बड़े पांचवा क्वेश्चन है ये लिखा है ना आपको इसके बाद लिख लो
इसलिए
सुनिए जी आंसर क्वेश्चन आंसर भी लिखिए
ये छठा क्वेश्चन आ
जो है ना इसके एसएसटी एग्जाम में कौन क्वेश्चन
बताना कब करना क्या
46
समझा इस क्वेश्चन समझे क्या फिफ्थ वाले का मतलब क्या क्वेश्चन what is the question
Write any three qualities that are desirable in the
what are the three qualities last class I was explaining you with those small diagrams that if a mango plant is having such and such characteristic what that the farmer will have to change so what are some of the desirable characters that a farmer or a plant breeder wants in a crop wants in a plant what are those number 1 resistance to diseases number 2 what is this write down first point resistance to diseases good response to fertilizers number 2 good response to fertilizers only spraying fertilizers will not help the plant should be able to absorb that it's something like when you are eating nutritive food at home but if your process of digestion is not happening properly is that apple and that glass of milk of any use no it's just a waste so that way we are eating good quality food but our digestive system should also be healthy to digest the type of nutritive food that we eat number 3 good quality seeds the plant should be producing good quality seeds hence again and again the good quality plant should be obtained good quality seeds now complete this volume question that I gave you what have you done this objectives मतलब example objectives of hybridization objective of hybridization what is the objective again for one or two sentences you write down that answer what is the objective of hybridization what is done in hybridization what did I tell you
characteristics
of two varieties of plants to obtain a improved variety
two different varieties or same variety
write down the answer properly hybridization is a method in which characteristics of two varieties of plants hybridization is a method in which characteristics of two varieties of plants are mixed to obtain an improved variety. Two varieties of plants to obtain are mixed to obtain an improved variety of plants. This one only. Objective is only this much. You don't have so much details about it. Just one line. Go to the next question. I give another two questions. Complete the- What is that? Animal husbandry is that? Okay, no, animal husbandry. I think only the definition here you will write the details we haven't studied. What is the question?
Define animal.
Define animal husbandry. देखो answer. The scientific methods of rearing, caring, and breeding of animals. Scientific methods of rearing, caring, and breeding of animals is called animal husbandry. Scientific methods of rearing, caring, and breeding of animals is called animal husbandry. Page 158, take question number 1, very important that you are going to study. Number 1, number 3 from what we have completed so far. Number 5, in the volume, these are the text questions which are already solved. Now, page 158, take karo. 58, question number 135. 130, take karo, you will read. Read properly. Read properly. Questions of the volume all done that I gave you?
Yes.
No, ma'am, one is ready.
Complete karo.
Question 42.
Complete karo. Done. Karo fast.
It's a long answer.
Read the question, see whether you understand what to write. तुम उसके घर आ जाओ आराम से तुम हाथ पैर फैला के बातें कर रहे हो उससे करो fast, you don't have so much of time, no? What is it?
How higher speed can be obtained through genetic manipulation, or what is genetic manipulation? How is it useful in agriculture practices?
First concept is what is genetic manipulation or genetic modification, and another question we have written. Here you will have to write how is it helpful. Genetic modification क्या है ये तो पता है. Now here in this question you can modify the question this way. Write 3 uses of genetic modification. That also can be a form of the question here. 3 uses of genetic modification. 3 benefits of genetic modification. Let us write that. 3 benefits of genetic modification. Likho. Number 1. 3 benefits of
Modification.
Modification. The 3 benefits of genetic modification and manipulation. Manipulation किसको बोलते हैं? What is the meaning of manipulation? Where human is doing some changes. इसको manipulation बोलते हैं. है ना? That is called manipulation. Something is happening naturally. That is not manipulation. So genetic modification and manipulation is the same thing. Now you have to write in this question 3 benefits. Number 1, a plant which produces low quality seeds. A plant which produces low quality seeds can be improved. A plant which produces low quality seeds can be improved by genetic manipulation or within bracket modification. A plant which produces low quality seeds can be improved by genetic modification. Number 2. A plant which produces low quality seeds can be improved. Number 2. A plant which is sensitive to diseases or sensitive to disease causing organisms. A plant which is sensitive Number 2, plant which is sensitive to disease causing organisms. Plant which is sensitive to disease causing organisms. Plant which is sensitive to disease causing organisms can be made disease resistant. Can be made disease resistant. Number 3, can be made resistant. Disease resistant, matlab plants which have got a great capacity of resisting, protecting themselves from diseases. Number 3, fruits and crops which has low nutritive value. Fruits and crops which have low nutritive value can be made, which have low nutritive value. Low nutritive value can be made highly nutritive. Low nutritive.
What is spelling that?
So, nutritive value. Nutritive value can be made highly nutritive. Can be made highly nutritive by altering a gene. The genetic modification by altering a gene. Now, can you write 1 point? Can you write 2 more points? I write 5 points. In your paper, you may get sometimes 2 points, sometimes make highly nutritive. Now, think 2 more points on your own and write. I already gave you 3 points. उसी line में सोच के 2 more points you write. What else the farmer would love to, or the breeder would love to change in a crop? फटाफट 2 मिनट में लिखना है. हाँ बोलो. By altering a gene. By altering a gene. फटाफट. By altering a gene. और क्या लिख सकते हो इसमें? हाँ, to increase or growth, to increase or to reduce the duration, to speed up the process of growth, to improve the absorption of nutrients.
From a farmer can buy high variety seeds, which
You're not talking about buying. Genetic modification से तो genetic modification से क्या क्या हो सकता है? That is
उसको ही करनी वजह से वो ज़्यादा seeds मिलते हैं.
Seed quality. Okay, to improve the seed quality. ये लिखोगे. Genetic modification also helps in improving the seed quality and to improve the absorption of nutrients. To improve the absorption.
How can we do that? By we can increase the absorption of nutrients
by changing a gene, by altering a gene, by addition of a gene. ये जो entire process where the DNA is changed, addition of a gene, deletion of a gene, changing a segment of the DNA, that's an elaborate process. वो एक बार में success नहीं होता है, but yes, it is done. It has happened. It is happening. So 5 points at least you know now. Now very fast, Rika.
What did you say before the absorption?
To improve the variety of a seed. To improve the seed variety. Which one is the 4th point? 4th point. To improve the seed variety. देखो, kindergarten में हो, teacher लिख के देगा board में.
इस board में क्या बोला?
To improve the seed variety. To improve seed quality, I'm sorry. To improve the seed quality. To improve the seed quality. 5th is to improve the absorption, make the absorption of nutrients faster, to make the process of growth faster, growth in a shorter period of time. बहुत सारे features. To improve the absorption of nutrients from the soil, absorption of nutrients from the soil. Now turn to page 144 in your volume. Let us continue. So after the concept of genetic modification, now we are going to talk about conditions necessary for high yield. Now what are some of the environmental conditions which are necessary for a high yield? Which is those? Now we are talking about that what are some of the conditions which can actually help in
Yes, page 1.
page 144 I said. So conditions which are necessary for growth. Let us talk about some of the conditions. Weather. Is weather also necessary for the
Yes.
productivity? How?
Because
Understand, I'll give you recent questions right now. I'm talking about weather. Weather helps in environmental factors. What are the environmental factors? Water in the soil, temperature, duration of sunlight, humidity. All these. Can this also affect the process of growth of the plant? Yes, it does. So that's how we are talking about that certain weather for certain plants. Very, very favorable. No, if I start growing, same thing, if I start growing mango, and this is not possible. Even if I put so much of manure in the soil, आने वाला है, will the seed start germinating and the flower will come up and the plant will grow? Not possible. Come to the second point, soil quality. How can soil quality be essential for the growth of plants?
because soil.
If the soil does not have nutrients, if the soil does not have nutrients, only giving water will it help? No, only giving water to the soil will not help. The soil should have adequate amount of nutrient, then only the plant absorbs nutrient and the process of growth happens. Come to the third point, availability of water. I am putting best quality seeds in the soil, but if the soil is dry, I am not watering the soil properly. Will the seed germinate? Will the plant grow? Not at all. Come to the next one, that when we are talking about fourth point, now tick weather conditions such as drought, underline the word drought. What is drought? What is the meaning of drought? Excessive dryness. So when we are talking about drought, what is the meaning of drought? Excessive dryness in the soil. If the soil is excessively dried out, so obviously not only disaster. If I talk about the northern part of the country, the northwestern part of the country, the northwestern part of the country is so dry. That's the reason the productivity is comparatively.
Northwestern or eastern?
Northeastern is not dry. Where is the northeastern part dry? Northeastern part, when you are talking about, even if it is continuous rain, there is so much of rainfall that side. But if I talk about some states like there was Rajasthan, I talk about some parts of UP, Rajasthan, they receive so scanty rainfall. Rainfall is so less, and the soil is majorly, some parts of Gujarat even, the soil is majorly dry for most of the year, most part of the year. So productivity from only little small region of that state can come. And that's the reason the type of crops also that is possible, they're growing there completely different, which may not have so much of economic value also, that's how. So that's why you will come across quite a number of these seeds and grains which are growing in those states. You don't get to see them in the market in most of the states. Those are special type of crops there. Okay, come to that when we are talking about weather conditions such as droughts and floods. Right now floods, what are floods? Floods is what? An environmental condition where the soil is getting excessive water. The water bodies are overfilled and they start spilling over and come over the land. That is what is floods. No? So when the water body, the level of the water in the water body rises up, and the water body cannot hold it and they spill over and flow on the lands. Now that they are flowing over the lands, are we to understand now that the land is so well watered, there should be enough productivity? Now that the land is over flooded with water, should the productivity be high at the time? Of course not. An adequate amount of water, that much is needed. Flooding of water will never help in the growth of a plant. So that is what we understand. Neither drought nor floods, neither of these conditions are necessary for improving production. Just the right amount of water for the right type of plant. Now let's see here, factors for high yield. Let us talk about the factors. Factors for which variety improvement is necessary. Number one is higher yield. What is the meaning of this? What is the relation? I'm talking about variety improvement क्यों होना चाहिए? Variety improvement क्यों होगा? Variety improvement होगा तभी जाके production फटाफट improve होगा. I'm talking about a very bad quality of rice seed. I'm talking about very bad quality of the wheat seed, maize seed. So वो never mind, I'm getting it at a very low price. I'm getting it for something around 100 rupees per kg. But then when I'm spreading it on the soil, am I getting good productivity? No, I'm not getting, because the seed quality is not good enough. That's why I'm not getting proper productivity. Improved quality. So we have already come across the variety of mangoes, or you talk about the variety of other different type of crops like the tomatoes and the potatoes and the cabbage, etc. Or you talk about the fruits like the guava and the mango or the apples, or you talk about the grains. जब तक quality improve नहीं होगा, there is no point also. Now say suppose when we go to the market, we always try to buy the best quality of the crops. If at all you have found your parents when they go for buying those vegetables and fruits, whenever we go for buying those vegetables and fruits, if I talk about the rice, say suppose, there are variety of rice in the market, but whenever we will go buying the rice, we will always try to check whether the grains are fresh and the grains are of nice length. But some rice and some dal will always come across that they are already eaten by insects and pests. Obviously, we will not buy them. The fruits, I talk about the apples, certain variety of apples will come across that they don't look attractive also, and the size is not adequate also. So we understand that the taste is not good enough, the nutritive level not good enough. So any type of a food product you talk about, unless and until it is of a very great size, it looks fresh, it has got its adequate taste and nutrients. Does it have any commercial value? It does not have any commercial value. No? So obviously the farmers would not waste their time growing them because nobody is going to buy them later. Biotic and abiotic factor, third point, very, very important. What is the meaning of biotic factor? What is biotic factor? Does biotic factor reflect the growth? Yes, biotic factor means organisms, living organisms. I talk about, yes, there are a variety of biotic factors like the bacteria and the worms which may eat up the plants. So are they not affecting the growth? They are. I talk about abiotic factor, excess of water, excess of moisture, too cold a temperature, nothing. All these factors may not bring about the proper growth of a plant. So are they not affecting growth, productivity? They are. Keep that point there. Change in the maturity duration. Change in maturity duration. Unlike the first word, you always get questions on that. The shorter the duration of the crop from sowing to harvesting. The first line underline karo. The shorter the duration from sowing to harvesting. So what I'm saying here, sowing to harvesting, that means, what is the meaning of sowing, do you know?
Yes, once this sowing of seed.
Sowing of the seed, putting the seed on the soil bed, and then now the plant will grow. The plant grows. But after a particular period of time, now it is ready for harvesting. What is harvesting time?
The removal of the
Plants are ready, and now that you have to remove the either the grain or the fruit or the crop, and whatever is left back is either the fibrous root part that is left back. So now, agar a particular plant in this entire process, I talk about that one particular plant gets ready, one particular variety of rice gets ready in 4 months, and there's another variety of rice, nutritive bhi hai, quality acha bhi hai, but that variety, the second variety, gets ready in just 3.5 months. Which one will the breeder prefer? जो 4 months में तैयार हो रहा है या जो 3.5 months में तैयार हो रहा है, but both are good, same good quality. जो 3.5 months, shorter duration. The type of plants, of course, good quality, better variety, सब होना चाहिए. But इसके बीच भी we come across a variety of apple gets ready in 5 months. Very good quality, nutritive, very high, everything is nice. But there is another parallel variety of apples which also have got a good adequate size, high commercial value, high nutritive value, everything is there. But that variety of apple gets ready not in 5 months, but in 4 months, 2 weeks. Which one will the breeder prefer? For 4 months. At least the breeder is saving 2 weeks there, no? So for 2 weeks where that product will go to the market already.
He can start sowing.
And he can again start preparing the land for the next season. Another type of a crop he can already get ready with. So whenever we are talking about the shorter the duration, the farmer always prefers that. Wider adaptability, why these are all important topics. Wider adaptability. What is the meaning of adaptability? Adapt करना किसे कहते हैं? Adapt करना किसे कहते हैं? Now, learn to adapt to the changing environment. क्या समझ में आता है?
When we get used to the environment.
Say suppose you are in a new school. Your parents say learn to adapt, try to adapt. मतलब क्या? Adjust करना सीखो. So every time we are in a changed environment, every time we are in a new environment, we are in a new set of people, new group of people. So always we should try adjusting. Same like that. A particular plan. Now say suppose for us also, if we are able to adjust with every group of people, we are able to adjust with every setup, then there's no problem for us. So we can adjust everywhere. We can flourish much more. But I talk about a boy, I talk about a girl. That particular person cannot adapt, cannot adjust with newer people every time. Finds very difficult. He cannot adjust, cannot talk, cannot find help. So it's very difficult, no, for such type of a person. Very difficult for such type of a person. So same is the case of a plant. If the environmental conditions are changing a little bit, there are certain plants easily they start dying out. Very fast they start dying out. And there are certain type of plants, even if rains happen in the month of December, should rains happen in the month of December and January? Generally not. That is called unseasonal rains. That's not the season for rain, but sometimes hota hai na? In the month of January, we kabhi-kabhi rain hoga hai. So when we are talking about non-seasonal or unseasonal rains, some plants will die out, but some plants will remain still. They will not die out. So the farmer will generally prefer what type of a crop? A particular crop which can resist higher temperature, unseasonal rains, too much of water in the soil. As I give you examples, that there are some wheat varieties. Soil में water थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा हो गया, the plant starts getting rotted. But there is another variety of wheat. The second variety of wheat. थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा भी अगर हो जाएगा water, sometimes it happens that the land is excessively irrigated. If the land is excessively irrigated, yes, variety of rice and wheat, they may start dying out. But at the same time, there are some more varieties which remain as it is. No, they don't die out. So obviously the farmer will prefer with the second variety. I talk about a type of a cauliflower which never gets infected by worms. But another type of a cauliflower infected by worms. So obviously the farmer will prefer the type of cauliflower which is not infected by worms. So that is what is known as wider adaptability. If the plant is able to grow in some changes, unfavorable changes also, then that is always a favorable variety. The last point we talk about desirable agronomic characters. Sticker. Agronomic, underline the word, agronomic characters. What is the meaning of agronomic characters? Underline some examples which are already given here. Dwarfness in case of cereals. Tallness in case of fodder crops. Tallness, देखो example दिया है already. Tallness in case of fodder crops. Fodder crops means plants like beans, plants like beans. When I talk about fodder, what is the meaning of fodder? Fodder means plants like pea, plants like beans. And then I talk about pea and beans. Okay, what is the other one? We talk about cereals. Give me one example of cereals. One example of cereals. Okay, I talk about arhar. Okay, I talk about arhar. Now, what are some of the special properties of such type of plants? Pea. The plant should be tall. I may talk about a type of a plant, pea plant, which is short, and the second variety tall. Which one will the farmer choose? The second variety, which is tall. Because the taller the plants, better they can adjust with the environmental condition. I talk about cereals. What is the major characteristic that these type of plants should have? These type of plants should actually be tall. If they are too tall, then they will not be able to get that many nutrients, and the productivity of the seed will be much lesser, because unnecessarily they are wasting their nutrients in the growth of the stem. So every particular type of a plant has one feature. So ये तीन feature underline करके रखो, dwarfness and okay, only these two examples are given here. Tallness and so now There are such type of features. Every particular type of a plant has got some or the other features like this. That is what is called any particular plant which has got a desire. Say suppose now I talk about coriander. You know coriander. If the coriander plants become too tall, is it a desirable agronomic feature?
No.
No, the coriander plant should be short. They are herbs. They are herbs, no? Coriander, tulsi, they are herbs. They should not be tall. I talk about the mango. If the mango plant starts becoming shorter, is it a desirable feature? No, that is not. So same like that you understand. Every particular plant has a desirable feature, and that is what is called agronomic characteristic. Take 2 questions for the homework that will finish at home. Number 1, give reason. Give reason. Give reason. Plants like bean and pea. Bean. B-E-A-N. Beans and pea. Plants like beans. B-E-A-N-S. Comes under this category. Plants like beans and pea, beans and pea should be taller. Plants like beans and pea should be taller. Number 1. Number two, you have to write give reason. 2 lines short dinner, and then the next question you write. Plants which have shorter duration of maturation. Plants which have shorter duration of maturation. Plants which have shorter duration of maturation are widely accepted. Are widely accepted.
Plants which have shorter duration
Of maturation are widely accepted. आया समझ में क्या लिखना है? Yes. You will complete the answers. Not more than 2 to 3 sentences to write. Complete this 2 questions as homework.
अगर आर्या कोई बैठेगा तो बैठे, हाँ अगर आर्या भी बैठ गया तो भी बैठे, हाँ आर्या बैठे,
बट मैं एक ही शर्त है तो ये मुझे रिसर्च में बैठे
हाँ
सेम आप ये स्पेस में बैठे
तुझे मुझे सारा कुछ बता दे
इसमें मैं वन सीरीज से तो बोल रहा इसका क्या
अरे वो तेरी मून एमएल की क्यों चाहे पता नहीं भाई
आज जो मजा आया ना
क्या हुआ तू बहुत बोल रहा था
खतरनाक से वीडियो में
पाकिस्तान की उन्होंने उड़ा दिया
मैंने माना हमें इंडिया
पाकिस्तान की मानो ऐसे चल है ठीक है
और मेरे को इसने साक्षी ने किया
अच्छा तो ऐसा मतलब पाकिस्तान और इंडिया लड़ रहे
नहीं सब प्रत्येक को अलग अलग कंट्री असाइन होंगे मुझे इंडिया असाइन
और पाकिस्तान कोई और है
हाँ पाकिस्तान अभिनव रायनाम ने करके अभिनव है तो मैंने
पाकिस्तान को सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं
हाँ तो मैंने उसकी मार दी
क्या
मतलब उसको राजा चुप कर दिया
चुप कर जा ऐसे बोला तूने
नहीं मतलब क्वेश्चनिंग और आंसरिंग से चुप कर दिया
अरे मेरे को डिबेट क्या करना है
नहीं बोल तो चुप कर जा बोल के चुप कर दिया बोल रहे तो क्या अनपढ़ ही लगेगा
तू भी बोल रहा है चुप करने क्यों बोल रहा है चुप करने बोल रहे हैं
बहुत चुप गया बहुत चुप आ गया
नहीं यार
अबे
नहीं यार
ऐसा करेगा अभी लाएगा मुझे पता है अभी ये बंद करना है ना आता है तो ये बंद करने की हाँ से टाइम चेक करना है मास्टर के टोटल यू
मेरी बहन का पूजा पूजा वाला था ना, आज उसका नाम
बायोलॉजी है ये भी।
हाँ इसमें डाली ना सी
डिसेंट स्मेल क्या होता है? स्मेल क्या होता है?
क्यों तरह के हाँ क्या
किससे लिया?
Oh, you see, you have under the camera. Just mine.
ये आ रहा है
किधर?
अरे बात
ये आयुष को पीछे भेज। ओए बोल आगे था आज।
तो इधर